though. What an interesting life, right? I am trying new things. I'm trying to experiment with not just scheduling over my day, but planning it out in micro details, like how long I want specific things to be. Now, obviously not to the extent where I'm going to be stressing myself out or overexerting myself, but I love being able to do more. I love being able to have a clean space. I love being able to organize my life. And the way I've been doing that has purely been over the last couple months, years, lifetime, really, is going with the wind and just kind of seeing where it takes me. And in a lot of ways it has worked and it's made me into the person I am. But I need more direction. I need something that is gonna not guide me, but I'm going to be able to follow in order to not just see my goal, but to achieve it. And as I said, the way I'm doing that is by scheduling out my day. And realistically, all I should have is tasks, because the second you start setting certain timestamps for yourself, and if you don't finish all that work in that time, then you can kind of go off the rails. And what I noticed in that, right, is in the time that I even considered this to be a possibility, I went, well, what are the pros and cons of it? And I've just told you many there, on both sides. But the positive I find in it most is that it keeps me not just reliant on myself and my ability to not just lead myself but others. Well, I'm doing this today. I have this time frame free. Let's make something work. And I think that in itself is, I don't know, I wouldn't say it gives me power, but it certainly pushes me in, I suppose, the direction I hope for, to not just be busy, but to keep myself occupied for the meantime, to explore new realms, to explore new ideas for me. The way I went about it, I had a whiteboard and I went, well, what do I need to do around the house? Over a day and a half, I looked around the house. Anything I thought of while I was out, I tried to put in my notes on my phone, and then I would come back home and I'd write it on board. And I'd be like, okay, well, just make a list of my to-do list, whether I don't want to do it, whether I do want to do it, whatever. And I went, okay, this is a lot more things than I initially thought, and I'm not even thinking about it in a broad manner. I went, okay, so let's do something about that. So rather than just having that to-do list just sit there and wait and accumulate, I went, let's get some of these things off that list. So what do? I put it into tomorrow. And I went, well, how can I plan out my day? What things can I do tomorrow that I know I can achieve, that are easy, that can get me, moving in the right direction? So I listed them out. Things I genuinely thought I could do no matter what, regardless of how tomorrow is, how I felt, whatever. And I went, cool. And then once that was done, I still had some things in my to-do list, but I've significantly shortened it because I've put it into that day. And then once I did that, I ended up scheduling time slots for different things. Okay, work in the morning, I'll do as much as I can throughout 9 to 10 o'clock. 11 to 12, I'll get ready for my day, whatever I need to do. And then I'll go out at 12 or 11:30, get where I need to go at 12. And once that is all done, once that chat is all finished, then it's come back and finish the rest of the things I need to off. And funnily enough, I expect to get almost all of it done besides 2 things within that hour period. Which, if that is the case, if I can seriously get that done within that hour period, because I've also put next to each and every single individual task the amount of time I expect it to take. And in that, I will be not only timing myself, but I will set timers so that at that time limit it goes off and I go, okay, now I either need to pick up the pace or I need to adjust my times on the board and go, okay, this is what I can do, or this is how I can change that time, and this is how I can incorporate it into my everyday life. Much like the gym. Like tonight, I'm getting myself ready for tomorrow. I'll get my clothes out, I'll get everything I need to out. I have all the dishes ready, stacked in the way I need, because we don't have hot water at the moment, so I'm waiting until tomorrow morning when it all adds up, and I go, okay, do it now. And that's really something I didn't even consider, actually, was eating. I didn't even think about breakfast in that. So not only am I probably going to be off, but it's going to help me and educate me on what I can do better the next day. Okay, well, I didn't account for breakfast last time. How did that affect that morning? What did I have to do in order to recalibrate that, or what did I have to change in order to really set the tone for that morning? And whether that's work out for, 10 minutes less, or just go quicker with the task I have, but still keeping it, I suppose, to a high standard, and finishing them to that degree I had hoped to, then I would go, okay, do I need to change anything now? And I can reflect on that now. What I'm going to do instead, knowing that, I'm going to try and remind myself in the morning and go, remember, you forgot to do breakfast, or you forgot to do this, so you need to add that in there. So, in saying that, whether I take time away from my workout, which is very possible, or I speed things up and I get everything done that I need to quicker than I initially thought, then beautiful. If it takes longer, it takes longer. And sometimes that's just life, right? But I'm going to actively try and pursue and achieve the things that I want to. And that's just one of them. Getting my clothes out tonight for tomorrow night, so I don't have to consider it tomorrow. So I can go, okay, well, I already know what I'm wearing. Well, they're right there. I just grab them. And that in itself is, it's not just discipline. It's not just routine. It's not just one little thing. For me, it's, well, why would I put myself in a situation where I'm not in control? Why would I? And it's not that I'm not in control. It's not that when I wake up I go, oh, I'm out of control, I don't know what to do. It's, how can I have the most smooth morning, smooth, gradual day that I can, and truly enjoy it for what it is? Okay, well, at night, let's set up my day for tomorrow. Let me tomorrow have a good day. And how can I make that possible? And that's the way I think about it, is that's my part of the day where I get to think about me. Whereas the rest of the day is, okay, well, what can I do for, this person or that person? And I think that helps me in a lot of ways, because when I'm helping others, it makes me feel good. And when I'm trying to achieve things for myself and making myself feel proud, that makes me feel good. Setting myself up for tomorrow morning, it may seem like a little insignificant thing, but it really adds up after time, and it really helped me, I suppose, fine-tune the type of person I want to be and the type of things that I love to see. And it's hard, right? Because when you see people who are scrambled or are all over the place and they just can't sit down and think, it makes me go, I wish I could help you. And in a lot of ways, it just, for me, it's natural. Like, obviously, initially it wasn't natural. Initially, I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? Like, I don't know any of this shit. But guess what? I learned. And I had to adapt to my environment, my changes, and that was beautiful. And although I hated some things and I, loved others, I had to learn to enjoy all of it. I had to learn to not just deal with what I have, but to enjoy every single thing, regardless of how much I may have disliked it, hated it, or just not wanted to do it. You think I wake up every morning and I go, I really want to do the dishes? To a degree now, yes, because I go, wow, look at how fucking fortunate I am to be able to do my dishes. Look at how fortunate I am that I don't need someone else to do it. Look at how fortunate I am that I don't have that reliance on either another person, or I'm actually able to clean my dishes. Whether that be because you don't have that where you are, you don't have the luxury of doing that. I try to think of everything in, I suppose, a calm manner. Now, obviously, emotion can override me, and in all honesty, I am a very emotional person. I have a lot of feelings. But I try to stay level-headed, and I feel like you do too. Sometimes things can feel chaotic. Yeah, you're still here. You're still kicking it, you're still living, you're still breathing, And I guess, for me, that's enough. From having eye surgery and just, I think that was not a big wake-up call, but it definitely had an effect. I'm laying in this bed for months on end because I've had to have multiple surgeries. Well, how can I be happy about this? Everything's so terrible. Like, I can't even work out. That's the thing that got me through some of the hardest times. What am I going to do? And that's what it came down to. It was, what is my life going to be if it's like this forever? Because in the moment, I couldn't see a way out of it. I couldn't see, well, the surgeries are going to stop, or they're going to subside for a little while. It was, I'm either going to die in surgery, or I'm going to live my life in this bed because I can't get up. And how silly of me in the moment to think that, but it was necessary. It taught me a lot about myself, and at the time I was very, very much a big YouTube watcher, watch YouTube all the time, And laying there, I just went, it's all the same shit. I'm laying here wasting my life away. It was either that or I was sleeping. And I went, I need to do something. So every single day after that moment, I went, I need to do something. So when I was able to stand up or do something for the time being, I would do push-ups, or I would do sit-ups, or I would do something physical, because if I didn't, in a lot of ways, I felt like my mind would have eaten me away. And when you only have such a small time period to not just stand up, but to shower, to eat sitting up, to essentially do normal daily things, it gave me such an appreciation, at least now, for everything around me. I can sit up, I can stand up the entire day. I can stay up for days, nights on end, and still be okay. But in that moment, I couldn't. And that brought me a lot of pain at the time. But it really flourished into something beautiful. And man, all I can think about, regardless of the things that have happened in my life, is just how grateful I am for everything. The good, the bad, the ugly. It's so beautiful. And in a lot of ways, I was brought up not to be religious or believe in anything, superstitious. And to a degree, I believe that, but I thank something. I say my gratitude to something. When I pray, I'm praying to something. I don't know what. And I don't believe in one specific thing. And I suppose that comes from that side where I was taught, well, there is no one thing, there is no something, there is nothing. And we're just here. And I guess in my mind, both make sense. In a way, it's real because we believe it. And what we believe is, I suppose, what is real. At least to us. So, what I found so fascinating about that was I almost felt scared to even consider the fact, and that brought me to another question for myself, which was, if I can't even consider the thought of what it means to believe either another person's view or statement, or I can't see it through their eyes, is that because I don't want to believe it? I've been taught I shouldn't believe it. Something from my past has made me go, well, why would that be true? Or even just the all-around consideration of, this person clearly isn't right and they don't know what they're talking about, rather than trying to understand them. And that's something I've been trying to do more. I've been trying to not just understand, but I've been trying to be more considerate and be not a hero, but someone when you come to, you can rely on. That when you think of me, you think he can help. And that doesn't mean I'm going to be the best person at it, but I will give it a fair crack, Regardless, though, I should really let you go. and finish what I need to. But yeah, lovely chatting again.